Hey there, guys. Thanks for joining me on another edition, on another video on Ugo Creating Comics TV. I am Ugo Amadi, Ugo Amadi, the creator and founder of Wild Comics. And I decided to make this into a mini series. Started with the video that was posted earlier on. Um, you can go catch that up later on and start with making comics. So I'll be sharing my own ideas, my own concepts, my feeling about what goes into making comics and including making characters as well. So today would be titled Making Heroes, making a hero. What goes into making a hero, what sort of characteristics should you want to sort of look at or take into consideration making a hero. So this is not perfect. This is not an exhaustive sort of list or sacrosanct. This is something that is just the way I look at it. If you want to create a hero, certain things you should look at now. And because the heroes are loved by everyone, that's why we read comics. We like to see Superman triumph. We like to see Batman, get the Joker locked up in Arkham Asylum. We like to see the good guys win. So what does it take to create a believable, relatable hero? Now, believable and relatable, we'll have to put that in inverted quotes or inverted commas because, or quotation marks, because, read comics for escapism, just to take us out of this world, to experience something sort of different, something new. Um, it's going to take us out of this world. So give us that unique experience. Um, but despite that fact, no matter how fantastical the character is, the reader wants to find something they can latch onto and see themselves in that character. So for me, I've just listed out three, and as this mini series continues to go on, I will be talking about other issues as well. Probably talk about making a villain and sort of characteristics I look at when making a relatable villain. But for today, this video, we're talking about making a hero. Now, for me, um, in writing comics and in reading comics, watching animated series, I've come to my own conclusion. You may have a conclusion as well, which is an imperfect hero is more relatable. A hero that has everything working for him, working for her, superpowers, no issues with their personal lives, everything's hunky dory. Now the reader may enjoy that character, but in terms of being relatable, could be sort of an issue. So for me, I found that imperfect characters are more relatable. Characters that have some issues, probably getting used to their powers, probably their personal lives, things they're facing. You've had those things in Spider-Man, for instance, where Spider-Man, superhero, does wonderful things within the Marvel universe, but he has problems, respect to how he copes with his relationship, how he reveals himself to Mary Jane, and decisions, things around that sort of nature. Same thing with Superman having the same issues as well, so, and then Batman, having the tragedy that haunts him all through, even though he's become this larger than life superhero, saying Batman is not a name, but a symbol. Or right, it's not an individual, it's not a person, but a symbol or an idea or an ideal. So there's a character that I created, speaking on the same issue of imperfect characters. That's the character I mentioned I've created. The script is right in the works. Rather, I've done about 2 books or 3 books, scripts, what 3 books. This will be heading to the printer very soon, so keep your eyes open. The character is Super Ego. Now, for this character, he's a superpower character, has flight, super strength, has superpowers, can fly, super strength, super agility, can heal, and all that good stuff that we love to see our superheroes have. But he has this struggle, because he wasn't a perfect person. Was a bit of a playboy, used to be a former football player, for American viewers, what you would call a soccer player. and he didn't have the best of reputation. So how he gets to see himself as really a hero, and then his power set, he's human, but what gives him his power is from an alien race. So the question is, the trouble or the problem he faces is, he doesn't quite see himself worthy to have such powers. And many times when you get to read the book, you discover that he doesn't even want the power sometimes because he feels this is too much of a burden to bear. Because one of the books is titled one of the issues is titled Super Eagle, a hero of two worlds. So he's a hero of the planet, the alien planet where his power source comes from, and then a hero of Earth as well. So he has this struggle. And of course, he has the normal struggle of letting people know who he is, letting people in on his, what I call it now, secret identity. Yeah. Letting people in on his secret identity, you know. So that's one. And then sometimes, initially, when he gets into his powers, there's a book on issue titled Power Trip, where he uses his powers wrongly because sometimes I discover in comics, someone gets powers and suddenly that person wants to save the world immediately. Sometimes you get the power. That's what I feel to make it more relatable. Because let's say you become a billionaire, you don't just immediately start thinking about everyone's welfare. Sometimes you become so wealthy, you just think about yourself, what I can do, where I can travel to, where I can go on vacation. Instead of superstar thing I can do, you don't just immediately start thinking about how you can change the lives of people. So that's one. An imperfect hero is more relatable. So when the reader sees a hero struggling with maybe a drinking problem, having relationship issues, or having even problems with their powers, that makes the character even more relatable and sort of endears them to the reader, in my opinion. So I wonder what you think about that. Please drop that in the comment section. You agree or disagree with me? That's fine. We could have a debate. We could have a very fierce, respectful debate. So drop your comments in the comment section. And whilst we're on the topic of dropping the comments in the comment section, you like, subscribe, and don't forget to click the notification bell so anytime I post a new video on YouTube, you will be sure to know and you can check out that video. And don't worry, very soon we'll be doing live stream version. I think that's a good idea. I wonder what you think. So drop that in the comment section as well. So the next thing we'll look at is consistency. When you created a character, be consistent. And also when you're creating a hero, you must be consistent. Now, if you're creating a character that you set a set of ideals as he doesn't kill, be consistent with that. Be consistent in saying this character doesn't kill, no matter what. If you've set that as his or her sort of character trait, be consistent. Now, there's something called growth, or not growth, but a change in a character's sort of behavior or actions. Now, you must leave at least breadcrumbs for the reader to get on some sort of understanding as to why this character that, for instance, wouldn't normally kill in the circumstances. Probably the hero wouldn't normally kill generally, but to save the for the fate of the when the fate of the world's on the line, then he may go out to kill that person who threatens the fate of the world. Or you may have sort of an event where he lets the villain live and then the villain destroys half the world. So that sort of plays on his mind where he thinks, okay, no more, I'm done letting these bad guys live. So I'm ending them. So that's something you should take into consideration of your consistency. Also, consistency in their power sets of the superhero, of the hero you create. It should be consistent because sometimes what happens is that we keep adding and adding power sets that have no relationship. From someone who is a super soldier, suddenly we add flight to it. We add telepathy to it, and then the character is not consistent. You need to have that consistency in the heroes that you create. You know, in their power sets, you need to be consistent. In their sort of ideals, you need to be consistent as well. Because sometimes as indie comic creators, as comic creators in general, writers, you may have that issue where the character is not consistent. So you need the character to have the consistent set of ideals and the consistent set of power sets. And for power sets, if you're trying to sort of improve or add additional powers, first they must be consistent. They must have some relationship or link to the powers that we have. For instance, if you create a character who's a web slinger, you know, then just out of the blue say, certainly he can fly, in the sky. You must have some, the power sets must be linked to his or her pre-existing power set. And again, when you want to add a new sort of power set to your hero, you should leave some breadcrumbs, create a link, a very understandable link for the reader, or the audience, so they have that buy-in. Because once the reader checks out, because readers are very smart, once they check out, that's it for that hero, for that character. So you must create a link to show why the character, in terms of the character's ideals, you must be consistent. But for the character's power sets, you must be consistent. So consistency all around. And when there is a change to powers or ideals, you should give evidence or reasons why the character has changed his ideals or has chosen how these new powers consistent. Now, this last one is a bit linked to everything, which is overpowered, OP. Be careful of overpowering your heroes, because one thing you don't want to do is make it impossible for your villain, for the villain of the story, to fight or defeat the hero, or at least stand a chance against the hero. The villain must always stand a chance against the hero, or else you don't have a story. So be careful, because when you overpower these characters and then the villain defeats the hero, then it makes no sense. It doesn't make any sense. So super flight, or let's say flight, super speed, super strength, invulnerability, doesn't have any sort of weaknesses whatsoever, doesn't react adversely to any external elements, and then he's defeated by the villain, then it doesn't make any sense. So you need to have some weaknesses. Now, weaknesses may not be just flaws in the character's power sets, but these weaknesses could be as a result of neglect on the part of the hero, because because of his other power sets. For instance, Superman, all powerful, but then again, he has one weakness, which is he's not a particularly good fighter. At least he shouldn't be, because he's he doesn't really need to fight anybody, as he doesn't really need to have any skill, proper fighting skill to fight anyone, because he has a superpower. So you could just flick, let's say, Joker in the head, and Joker would fly off, a million miles away, or probably Joker's head would get blown in two, if that happens. So now his inability to actually physically to fight like a martial artist would, or street level character like Batman would, that is a weakness. And then his weakness is also his adverse reaction to kryptonite. So that as well can be a weakness, because once that is introduced, it then affects his ability to utilize his entire arsenal. So that's also very important. Super, don't overpower your characters. It's fun when you're creating these characters, but also ask this question: how would the reader, look at this character with all these powers, then how possible would it be for this character, for the villain to fight against this hero with all these powers? The villain should have some sort of chance. Back to the Superman example again. If Superman, for instance, if Lex Luthor, for instance, shoots the kryptonite bomb at Superman, he then has a chance. There's a little chance. If Batman shoots a kryptonite bomb at Superman, he has a really good chance of defeating Superman. So there are three things for me that don't make a perfect character in terms of imperfection imperfect, if you understand what I mean. So that is an imperfect character is more relatable than a completely perfect character, you know. And then consistency, be consistent in the power sets of the hero and in the character ideals of the hero. Avoid overpowering your heroes. Avoid overpowering your hero, because that could take a reader out of it, or you could see yourself stuck. You could see yourself stuck, because when you're now writing like the final page, the final splash page, where the hero is taking on, or the final couple of pages where the hero takes on the villain, then you find yourself in this at the point where it doesn't make logical sense for the villain to defeat the hero, but it doesn't make logical sense for the villain to sort of have any chance against the hero. And then it doesn't make for quite interesting reading, because you must have conflict, and then you must have some. Because if a hero is overpowered, then the hero doesn't really, you don't have the possibility of the hero facing any threat. So that's something that we should look at. So tell me what you think about this video. Drop your comments in the comment section below, and I'll surely get back to you. Also, if you haven't got your copy of Heroes League Origin Volume 1, or you have gone to Amazon Marketplaces and get the ebook. And don't worry, today I'll be dropping the link down in the description below of this video, so you can click on the link and make your purchases. So once again, I say thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next video when it comes up. So do have a pleasant rest of your day.